That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The first shoe has dropped in the West Virginia football program athletic director and coaching saga, as athletic director Shane Lyons has officially stepped down as athletic director of the West Virginia Mountaineers athletics program. Now, not only did he step down, it appears he was forced out of the position. This news is breaking this morning, Monday, November the 14th. I'm going to share the article with you. This is from West Virginia MetroNews, who covers obviously all things in the state of West Virginia and really does a lot of work around the West Virginia athletic program. It says WVU forces out AD Shane Lyons. West Virginia University Director of Athletics and Associate Vice President Shane Lyons is resigning under pressure from the university. Lyons informed his staff of the decision this morning following a tense meeting Sunday with WVU President E. Gordon Gee. The move represents a significant change of direction for WVU athletics, as the fate of football coach Neal Brown is also under consideration, and as the university adapts to a rapidly changing athletics landscape. Lyons turned down an offer by Gee to give up the athletics director responsibilities, but stay on as associate vice president. The hiring of Lyons in 2015 was viewed as a natural fit at the time. Lyons is a Parkersburg native and a WVU grad who had worked his way up in collegiate athletics. His background was largely in compliance and conference administration. That skill set served him well at WVU initially. However, college athletics have changed dramatically with name, image, and likeness and liberalized transfer rules. Top WVU officials were concerned that Lyons was not the person best equipped to manage the changing landscape and put WVU sports teams in the best position for long-term success. Lyons has been heavily involved in boards and committees outside of the university, including his role as chair of the NCAA Division I Football Oversight Committee. Those responsibilities have raised Lyons' stature, but there was also a belief among some at WVU that he should have been spending more time in the day-to-day management of WVU athletics rather than delegating responsibilities. There were also concerns about the administration of the Mountaineer Athletic Club, the fundraising arm of the athletic department. There has been a series of departures of top officials at the MAC, including Executive Director Ben Murray, who left last year to take a similar position at the University of Nebraska. The status of football coach Neal Brown has also been swirling about WVU athletics. Lyons hired Brown, a move supported by WVU President Gordon Gee. However, Brown's record is only 21-24 over 4 seasons. Top university officials also signed off on Brown's contract extension in 2021 following Lyons' recommendation. That contract guarantees full payment of the remaining amount on the 6-year deal to Brown, even if he is fired. That means WVU is on the hook for at least $16 million if Brown is let go at or before the end of the season. WVU officials are expected to wait until the end of the season to fully evaluate Brown's status, and if Brown is fired, the university wants a new athletic director to hire his replacement. The university will conduct a nationwide search for the new athletic director. WVU made no immediate comment, but was expected to issue a formal release later today. There was also no immediate comment from Lyons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big news. I had actually received a tip from a source that I can't share that this was coming. Now, I had been hearing rumors for a while that Lyons was delegating about everything in the athletic department and wasn't really doing a whole lot of hands-on work. I didn't know if I believed it or not because the people I was hearing it from, I really didn't know them. As when you become a content creator like myself, people will send you all kinds of information. You kind of have to sort through what you think has teeth and what doesn't. And now this is something I had heard from some folks that claimed to be close to the program, that he was pretty much letting all the people under him do all the work, and he was basically just a figurehead. That appears that might have been true based on this article. I had also heard the rumblings, like I mentioned, that Lyons was in the crosshairs. And of course, Pete Thamel even mentioned that before the pregame show on Saturday during College Game Day. I had already heard that, and this kind of also might align with the video I did earlier did last week, where I said I think Neal Brown will be here at least another year. Now, that could still end up not being the case. Some of that may depend on how the rest of the season goes, but they do want the new AD to hire the new coach if Brown gets fired. So, if it takes them a while to find an AD, it may not make sense to fire Brown right now because they have a recruiting class they've got to sign in December, and then another one they have to sign in February. So if it takes you 2 or 3 months to find a new AD, and let's be honest, they need to do this. They need to go through this process and take their time. Now, it's possible they could have already been started this process weeks ago. If the Board of Regents knew that this was coming, they could have already been, had search firms or whoever looking for candidates for this position. They may already have somebody in mind. Who knows? This could move extremely quickly, and it could take weeks or months. Who knows? Sometimes these things take a long time if you want to find the right person for the job. But it appears Shane Lyons is out at West Virginia as the athletic director. Now, one caveat to this is, and I read this or heard this a while back on another podcast, but Neal Brown's contract is tied to Shane Lyons. In his contract, there's a stipulation that if Shane Lyons were to leave, then Neal Brown is actually free to leave on his own accord without paying the university a buyout. Now, I don't foresee that happening, and that's only because right now I don't think Neal Brown's going to be a very hot commodity in the coaching ranks because he has struggled at West Virginia. So I don't really see him being a candidate for another job unless the work conditions just become as such that and the pressure gets to be the point he doesn't want to deal with it anymore. Then maybe he decides to leave. But personally, I think he'll stick around as long as he can or until he's forced out or fired. I plan on doing a video at some point in the next day or two talking about potential candidates to replace Shane Lyons, but I've got to do some research on that before I put it out there. So stay tuned for that. Also, I still haven't forgotten. I still plan to do a video about my reaction to the Oklahoma win and to Garrett Green and whether he'll be the quarterback going forward or not. I haven't forgotten about that, but this was breaking news today. I wanted to get it out to you folks and to give you my quick thoughts on it. But Shane Lyons is out. He's no longer the athletic director. I think a lot of us were I think a lot of fans are probably on board with that decision. I know I am. If he's responsible for giving him that extension that has kind of tied the university down to that 16 million number, then I think he needs to be held accountable for that. And if he's not managing the athletic department properly, I think he needs to be held accountable for that as well. And it sounds like that might be the case. There are other things other than just a football program that they're not happy about. But I guess that was just the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. So they decided to ask him to step down from that position. So that being said, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Shane Lyons being forced out was the right move by West Virginia, or do you think it was the wrong move? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And do you think Neal Brown will be next? Do you think Neal Brown stays through the rest of the season, or do you think he stays another year? Do you think Neal Brown will be the coach of the Mountaineers in 2023? I want to get your thoughts. With that being said, I really appreciate you tuning in to this video. Until the next episode, you Country Roads.